30 minutes plus 2 laps then. Etienne's over on the right, Marvin is on the left. Into the closing seconds, down goes the gate, away they go. A good start by Bax over on the right-hand side. Van Lukenen coming fast like a train, through on the inside and getting it. The red plate leads from Bax, Dan Foden, Ryan Humphrey in there. The Lille Bardis boys fourth, Krumer's in there, Prunier. So all the names you would expect, except Hermans, of course, because he was last to the gate after a catastrophic qualifying. Hermans, Ben van den Bogart, have had a shocker once again this weekend. Lille Bardis ahead of Prumer, Wilkinson, Millard. But that was a good start by Dan Foden. He and Ryan Humphrey have really found their mojo this season. But it's Van Lukenen, the red plate in front, Etienne Bax chasing. There's Dan Foden, Lille Bardis, Prumer. These big jumps, you really have to be committed over this long climb with a double jump on the steep up. You've got to get over that. The riders were all saying that with the heavy watering, the water collected in the bottom of the hills made the ruts difficult for the jumps. You didn't know what you were jumping out of, and you certainly did not know what you were jumping into. Made it quite dangerous. And you can see all the loose rubbish has been piled up by the side of the track, where the organisers had to work hard and scrape it off the top. The clay, it was just a bog. There's Heinzer and Betchart. Not a good start for them, but they're making up ground. They're alongside Koen Hermans and Ben van den Bogart, and they're past Koen Hermans and Ben van den Bogart. Heinzer then on the back of Justin Kuban, Rodolphe Le Breton, the number 7. The young French passenger has ridden with something like 8 or 9 drivers this year. Talk about super sub. He's been absolutely amazing. Prumer got it bogged in on that right-hander. Prunier as well. They're queuing up round there. Kerben. So look at the left-hand sidecar of Heinzer. He flicked it on the inside, but Hermans is past. Up the hill and over the top. There's not really a passing place in those tight turns. On the inside of Leferic goes Kerben. Kerben now back in front of Hermans. Hermans charging through though, making up ground from, well, last place on the grid, so he was on the second row. Daniel and Bruno, Lille Bardis. A massive collection of Latvian fans here. Flags and air horns, the whole shebang, I can tell you. Prumer and Jarno Stegmans. And Prunier on home ground. Again, big support from him for the partisan crowd. You see what I mean about the ruts? They've got to follow the ruts, and those ruts would not have been there had the circuit been less watered. On the inside then, having a look, Dan Foden has proved to be notoriously difficult to pass. Doesn't matter where it is, he doesn't give in easily. He's got a bright future, he and Ryan Humphrey, after all the problems they've had this year, that big injury in Torsion-Valais, where they both broke their backs. Oh, backs! Backwards into the loose stuff. Oh, that's a problem with a kill switch. That's a kill switch problem. What's happened there? Something being dragged across? Andre Chermak frantically trying to sort it out while Etienne keeps the job going. I've no idea, but something got clouted. Looked like it knocked the kill switch up, but we shall see. Andre Chermak very quickly on the case. Now running for some assistance. So that's it, game over for Etienne Bax and Andre Chermak at the front. Van Lukenen is running away with it and running away with the championship. Brett Wilkinson, Joe Millard, fellow countryman Dan Foden, Ryan Humphrey. Through the inside they go on them. That's renewing the battle they've had most of the season in the British Championship as well. But Dan Foden, as I say, they were both injured. And Ryan's had his fair share of problems later in the season with the heat. And he's looking fairly static at that moment as well. So Dan having to nurse Ryan a little bit, and Ryan will be the first to confess that he's got some work to do on his fitness because of the lack of racing this year. Simply, you've got to be race fit. It's no good just going to the gym. There's only one way to train properly, and that's on the bike at race distance. Kerben, Rodolphe Le Breton on the back of Brett and Joe Millard. These two have had a battle all the way through. And Millard, Brett of course, and Joe Millard in 4th place in the championship. The only people who can really threaten them, Kerben could have done until his DNF a couple of weeks ago. But now he's on the inside, he's gone through. But it's Lille Bardis who are the dangers to Brett Wilkinson, and they're in front of them at the moment, just jumping out of sight in your shot on the left there. These two then weaving through the bends, right, left, right, left. Right chair versus left chair. You can see the diggers in the background that they've had to bring in to sort this track out, all because too much water was put on it. It's in perfect order when we arrived, and then they were so afraid of the dust, I guess, because it is hot here, they overwatered it, and the result is what you see. All the loose rubbish gets shoved to the side. Lil Bardis boys making ground through the pack. Tim Prumer, Jarno Stegman's running very well in the top 6. They're ahead of Kerben. In fact, they're ahead of Koen Hermans. And Koen Hermans now being, well, he's right on the case, but what can he do? He's had a really disastrous first half to the weekend, but he's looking good now. He and Ben van der Bogart. Hermans, number 3, third in the world. He cannot lose that. He's fairly safe in third. He's going to continue with the number 3 plate into the 2024 season, and plans are already being made for the 2024 season, with a very strong rumour that we will be doing live stream next year. So all of the Grand Prix races, God willing, and with a fair wind, will be streamed live onto your device. Now, how good is that? Tim and Sem Leffering. These boys promise so much. Oh, that's Tanel Reisner. Tanel Reisner and Stenitsu, the Estonians, out of it. They had a crash as well, or a bit of an incident in practice. It was doubtful whether the passenger would race, but he's out there. They're not anymore because they've just stopped. But race leaders, Van Lucena and Nicolas Mousset, clear ahead of this one with a huge 10-second lead over the Lil Bardis boys in second place. Victory and the championship, and Nicolas Mousset's body language says everything. Victory in the championship. Marvin, oh, there they are. They've already been mobbed trackside. Nicolas Mousset is out on his feet. Runners up, Lil Bardis boys. A great result for them. And in third place, Kilian and Evan Prunier. It's a rapturous applause. There it is, Van Lucena, Lil Bardis, Prunier. Tim Prumer, 4th from Kerben. Wilkinson battled up to 6th. Well done, Brett. Leffering, Heitzer, Foden in the top 10 ahead of Tom van der Lagermaat.